Well, good morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the opening morning of the 2024 BC Natural Resources Forum. I'm Sarah Weber, your host and MC, and throughout the event, I'll be sharing this MC role with both Kevin Brown and Logan Wong. So thank you for being up, especially those of you that were staying at the Ramada last night, as I hear there may have been another networking event through the fire alarm. So thanks for making it this morning. Before we go any further, I would just like to do a quick safety share. In the event of an emergency or an alarm, and we are required to evacuate the room. The muster station is located in the plaza outside. It's the open space in front of the building's main entrance. So please make sure that we all exit this way in a calm and orderly fashion. And as we mentioned at the banquet last night, it's my honor to recognize that we are on the territory of the Lheidli, our host First Nation, and thank them very much for their hospitality. And so I would like to invite Elder Darlene McIntosh, who's the elder with the Lheidli, to come join me on the stage. Darlene is also the Chancellor of the University of Northern British Columbia. And get your headies ready.
Bandada Hunzu, good morning. Oh, I guess I have to say something else because we're still chit-chatting. Hadi! Hadi! Not bad. Early in the morning. So, what a wonderful event this is turning out to be. Last night was just fantastic and very enjoyable, and we got to meet a lot of people, and it was so interconnected, and which is really nice, and that's what we want to see when we gather together and you know, have the same thoughts and the same intentions, and it's a good thing. So what we're going to do this morning is create a sacred space for you to do your work in. You know, we come here, we come in the physical, we come in the mental. We're in those two. We're in our head all the time, right? We're always thinking. But you have to remember, as human beings, we're of four components: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And you need all these working together. You don't negate one to create something else, because that is an imbalance. And so that's why we have to think about things outside of what we do in our business or our relationships. We have to extend it out, because we are just part and parcel to the energies of this beautiful world, beautiful Mother Earth. And we, the Lheidli Nation, and I don't know if you're aware of it, but we've been on our traditional territories by lithic evidence over 9,000 years. And we know that's just a stopping point. We've been here a lot longer. And it is such a pleasure and honor to be able to welcome you to our unceded traditional ancestral territories, which we are very proud of. And as you can see, we're interconnected with other First Nations, industry, the city, the community, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing that in this day and age now we're able to interconnect with each other, rather than in days gone by when there was such a separation and such a colonial way of doing things. And so we really have come a long way, but in fact we still have a long way to go yet. So I'll get you all to stand, please. I want you to take a nice deep cleansing breath throughout your whole body and feel yourself, connect with yourself. And it's early in the morning. The sun has already risen. But if you are outside in the east direction, we know that every day the sun comes up, gives you a new day, a new beginning, and new possibilities. So every day you have a clean slate to make a decision on how your day is going to proceed. And then there's the other thing that's so important, and I always bring it up, is about what are you in gratitude for? Like, that's something we forget about, and we need to really acknowledge that and give thanks for what we have in the place we live, in our relationships, our family, because in the end, that's all we can do is, what do we take with us in the end? We don't take our house, our car, our money, our status. We just take who we are and what we've done in our life, which is so important. So those are things that we need to consider. What is important to us, and what are we going to leave as a legacy of what we've done? Because we come here to be in service, and we come to have a purpose. And that's what fills our heart and gives us the energy to do what we do every day, considering we're in a broken, chaotic world. So, as we breathe into our body, we connect to beautiful Mother Earth, who sustains our life here on this beautiful earth plane. And she gives us the energy, but also, too, we circulate the energy within our field and we give it back to her. So it's a wonderful relationship that we have. In our environment, we're talking about natural resources, right? And we have to be in balance with natural resources, because how intimate are we with our environment? Personal, intimate. Well, the trees breathe out, we breathe in. We breathe out, the trees breathe in. So you have to remember that all what's on Mother Earth is there to sustain us humans, but we have to have a balance where that's concerned. So we think about that, and then we ask Creator and the grandfathers and the grandmothers and all of our ancestors, no matter where you're from, to come be with us today. Can you imagine the energies filling with all your ancestors? That it would be pretty crowded in here. Because you have to remember, you're the product of 7 generations past. Every generation is all and more than the last generation. And we thank Creator and beautiful Mother Earth for this beautiful winter day, creating a sacred space for what will be taking place. We thank you for the participation. We thank you for the knowledge and wisdom that will be shared. As the winds bring a change of weather, they also bring a change of how to do best practices, focusing on the 21st Annual BC Natural Resources Forum, which is hosted on the unceded, traditional, ancestral territories of the Lheidli Nation. This will be a transformative gathering of many First Nations, industry, governments, and the communities of the North. We come together, shaping tomorrow, BC Resource Section, and future generations. Let us take the stand to see what we can do to best support the initiatives that will create our future. It takes the community, as we gather together, to apply best practices to support and implement a strategic plan of action. And we ask Creator to hear our prayers. It is our sacred obligation, giving Indigenous voices on reconciliation for our people, for all peoples. As we speak our truth, which addresses our inner being, speaking our truth through Indigenous culture, drumming, connecting with the beat of our mother's heart, singing and dancing, connecting to the spirit of the land. We thank Creator for guiding us on the good red road of instituting plans that will work on making us whole in all aspects of who we are. As the sun is high in the sky, warming us in the coolness of the northern energy, it touches our spirit, asking us to come into the wisdom of our hearts. We thank Mother Earth for allowing us to walk softly on her, leaving no footprints. May all those present go home knowing what you will receive today will benefit all. Creator, we ask that you keep our people safe today, and may tomorrow be a good day. All my relations must say thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you so much, Darlene. I'm very grateful that you started us off in such a good way today. I'd like to invite our opening ceremony dignitaries to come and join me on the stage and take a seat. And while they're doing that, I'd also like to recognize all the chiefs and elders, and mayors and MLAs and ministers, as well as all the local government representatives are here with us today. I can say with confidence that everyone in this room is extremely proud of the work they do and their contribution to BC's thriving resource sector, which is the backbone of our provincial economy. We're really glad and we're so excited to be back here in Prince George. We're really honored to welcome Premier David Eby last night as he provided the keynote address at the banquet. And this year's forum is diving deep into the importance of the interconnection that Elder Darlene was just speaking of, the decision-making that comes through meaningful partnerships between Indigenous communities, government, and the BC resource sector. And so now it's my pleasure to invite our locally elected officials to the stage to kick off the morning. And so first, I'd like to invite Bob Zimmer, MP Bob Zimmer, to bring us greetings from the federal government. Bob.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah and Kevin. On behalf of Todd, Doherty, and I want to welcome you all to the 21st Annual BC Natural Resources Forum. My time is short, but I have a couple of questions for you this morning. How are we doing natural resource development-wise in Canada after 8 years? Okay, but I want to ask you another question first. Do you think there is a strong business case for us to export our BC liquefied natural gas? Okay, so I want some crowd involvement. It's early in the morning, former teacher. How many think there's a strong business case for us to export our liquefied natural gas? Yes. Okay? Okay. Now the second part to that, those who don't think it is, put up your hand if you believe no. Okay, well, I kind of thought I'd have a bit of a biased crowd this morning, but that's a good thing. Importantly, Canada can genuinely help reduce global emissions by providing our natural gas to the world. So again, my first question that I asked this morning, how are we doing after 8 years resource development-wise? A recent article. Japan asked for natural gas. Trudeau offers lectures on decarbonizing. The major countries are trying to have a stable supply of energy and also to decarbonize, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said. Japanese companies are looking to invest in Canada. Right now, they need natural gas, and we're hoping to find a reliable partner in Canada to replace the 10% of their supply that currently comes from Russia. Quote, we didn't get any concrete commitment, Kishida said, when asked about getting increased supply from Canada, but got a lecture from the Prime Minister instead. An article from December 2022. Snubbed by Canada, Germany goes all in with autocratic Qatar for its gas. As Germany is moving away from Russian energy at warp speed, Canada is our partner of choice. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz told the Toronto Economic Conference in August. We hope that Canadian LNG will play a major role in this. Nevertheless, the German leaders' requests were met largely with disinterest from the Canadian government. At a joint press conference with Scholz, Prime Minister Trudeau infamously said that there has never been a strong business case for Canadian LNG exports to Europe. But at least we have a critical mineral strategy, right? From the government document, the Canadian Critical Mineral Strategy will empower businesses, workers, and communities across Canada to seize this generational opportunity. Well, from an October 2023 article, so just a few months ago, this is the only rare earth project that we currently had at that time in the country. Northwest Territory Mine project owner sends Canadian subsidiary into bankruptcy, drops processing plant. Despite fanfare, federal funding, and even a visit from the Prime Minister, you might remember it's the one he was at the ribbon cutting at, The owner of the Northwest Territories Mine Project is closing down its processing plant in Saskatoon. Following a strategic review, Vital Metals announced it would be placing a separate subsidiary that owns the processing plant into bankruptcy, liquidating its assets. And on a recent trip to the Yukon, I was meeting with the Yukon Chamber of Mines, and I asked them about, in a positive way, like this critical mineral strategy, how's it going for you? And they said to me, well, the Prime Minister wants to develop critical minerals by 2030. We'll be lucky to pull it off in 30 years because of overregulation and red tape. How are we doing, I'd suggest? Not well. Now let's have a look at a country, a brief look at Norway. And don't worry, I'm only going to be about another minute. From Reuters, October 2022. Norway expects to earn record $131 billion from oil and gas in 2023. A few facts about Norway. Norway has a robust natural resource economy like Canada does, or should, has 5.4 million people, has a respected environmental record like Canada does, and it has no debt, and as of September 2023, the Norwegian fund or pension fund is worth $1.477 trillion US. And my question to you and really all of us is, why isn't this us? It should be Canada, a country with far more resources than Norway. So what will we and our leader Pierre Poilievre do differently? We believe environmental stewardship must be addressed with realistic, concrete, and effective measures by reducing emissions with technology, not job-killing policies. We believe First Nations and Indigenous peoples should have the right to bring home more of the benefits for the resources for their people. We believe in common sense, transformation, not transition, technology, not taxes, led by the private sector and not government. We will bring back investment, remove the gatekeepers so we can greenlight green projects, bring home powerful paychecks, make traditional and alternative sources of energy affordable and accessible for all Canadians, accelerate approvals, and put Canadian resources, innovation, and workers first to ensure Canadian energy security and self-sufficiency. We will bring timelines down and project approvals up, and bring home Canadian critical minerals production, processing, and supply chains to get Canadian resources and technologies out to the world that wants them and needs them. We agree exporting Canadian liquefied natural gas will ensure a clean, ethically produced energy alternative to our allies for the long term. We cannot miss this opportunity again. We will support our energy workers, stop sending dollars to dictators overseas, and bring home more powerful paychecks for our people. And yes, I agree with you. We do believe there is a strong business case to export Canadian LNG to our allies and to the world. Lastly, we, along with our leader, Pierre Poilievre, will bring it home. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bob. Now I'd like to invite longtime local MLA, Shirley Bond, the MLA for Prince George Valemount, to the mic.
Well, thank you very much, and good morning. Welcome, and thank you very much to Elder Darlene McIntosh for starting us off in a good way. And I think it's very symbolic of how proud I am of being able to live and work on the traditional territory of the Lheidli-T'enneh. I know you're going to hear from Chief Logan shortly. She is progressive, she is thoughtful, she's a good friend. But it's symbolic of how our community and region have made a priority of working together on a pathway to reconciliation. Elder McIntosh is the Chancellor of our university, and I remember how I celebrated that day with that major accomplishment. So thank you, Elder McIntosh and Chief Logan. I look forward to your continued leadership. I want to recognize the organizers, Dan and Sarah, the C3 Alliance. Is there anyone here who was here at the very beginning of this conference when it was started by my colleague, Pat Bell? Look at the hands. I was one of them, I recall. You would remember that it was a very grassroots operation. I think many of the staff in our offices ran the event. It has turned into one of the premier events talking about natural resources, frankly, across our country. So thank you to Dan, Sarah, and everyone who have actually taken that idea. And it started like this. Cheryl, Pat would say to me, I have a good idea. It always caused me somewhat a trepidation. It was like when he said to me one day, I'd like to start a winery in Prince George. And look how that turned out, as a matter of fact. So thank you for your faithfulness, coming to Prince George, to the heart of where we drive the economy of British Columbia. Now more than ever, we have to have dialogue about the critical issue of the resource sector, not just in British Columbia, but across our country. And you have made the effort to be here today to have those conversations. And I was saying to Logan earlier that I wish we used this format, this template, to talk about other tough, challenging issues that are facing British Columbia, facing northern British Columbia. Wouldn't it be great to bring leaders and industry leaders and elected officials together to talk about other important issues as well? So I look forward to thinking about that as we move forward. But British Columbia has been gifted with amazing natural resources. Number one, being the people who live here and call British Columbia home. After all, you just have to think about, we faced a snow day yesterday. Weren't you glad you were here and not in Vancouver this morning? Just saying, Global had snow coverage this morning on their news broadcast. But we've also been gifted and blessed with natural resources. It is what we do with them and how we look at the past and think about what we need to do in the future to ensure that we take advantage of the gifts that we've been given in this province. And that is what this conference is about. So thank you so much for allowing me just to welcome you here again. And thank you for your interest in innovation, in supporting the natural resource sector. I'm delighted to have welcomed a number of BC United Caucus colleagues with us, including our leader, Kevin Falcon. They have come from across the province to participate. We look forward to spending time with you, learning as we look to the future. After all, as the theme says, our resources are our future. Thank you for having me this morning. I'm very appreciative.
That's awesome, Shirley. Thank you so much. Now please welcome Mayor Simon Yu of the City of Prince George.
You guys have no idea how difficult it is to speak after Shirley every morning. Need a practice. Thank you, Sarah, for our most wonderful MC and the event organizer. And thank you, Elder McIntosh, Bob, Shirley, for your insightful remarks. It is my utmost privilege and honor as a mayor of the city of Prince George to welcome you to the unceded ancestral land of Clinditane, on whose land we are having this 21st annual Natural Resources Forum. I took my favorite walk, snow walk, after snowstorm last night. During my walk, I reflected all the pre-event activity yesterday. And I couldn't help but to feel the tremendous amount of energy that you have brought to our city. And I was even more delighted to learn that some of you have to pay $700 a night last night, staying in one of the hotel rooms. Well, $700 a night, it happens here in Prince George. Thank you very much. And thank you for being here, and please do visit us often in northern BC. It is chaotic out there. Our world is looking for a spark to reignite the economy after the pandemic. Same as many of you, I truly believe that northern BC here is the spark for the world. Our world is looking the importance of this conference, this forum, cannot be understated. Yes, today, this week, there's another forum taking place in Swiss Alps called Davos, World Economic Forum. Well, this morning I was listening to the radio on my way here. I couldn't help but to truly believe the days, using financial engineering fintechs to base the investment, and those days I think is over. I really felt the days now, based on true climate change data, based on world's infrastructure needs, is here. So the action is here. A green world economy needs BC resources development. Poverty, homelessness alleviation at home here needs BC resource development. Meaningful truth reconciliation with you needs BC resource development. A chaotic world in transition needs our resources development. Our collective vision of sustaining BC natural resources development center around BC, center around Prince George in particular as a green energy hub of global importance has taken another huge step because of your attendance here today. Your here is important. We, the mayors, the councillors, the First Nation chiefs, the leaders, we're all here. The Northern BC chiefs, leaders are here. I can see my council colleague, Ron's here, Trudy's here, well, all of them are here. I can see Mayor from Kitimat Fields here. I can see Mayor from Prince Rupert, Herb's here, and the Mayor of Chetwynd, Allen's here as well. Also, Mayor of McBride, Jane's here. We know the terrain. We know what it takes to get things done. Please, talk to us about your program. Talk to us about your project. Talk to us about how we're going to spend that $36 billion investment, which we learned yesterday. And do talk to us what is needed to make your investment decisions for the big hydrogen hub. Talk to us about your transportation needs, your safety. We, together as one people under this roof in the next 2 days, we will know what is needed to shape tomorrow as the forums. This is the title this year, isn't it? Yeah. Shape tomorrow's BC natural resources development. We know what is needed. So let's have a great forum together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Well, 21 years ago, our patron sponsor also saw the vision for this conference, so it's my great honor to welcome Carlene Welch to the podium. She is the business partner procurement for Rio Tinto, and when you do see the Rio Tinto team, please do wish them happy birthday. 70 years for a BC company, which is an amazing accomplishment. So welcome, Carlene.
Thank you, Sarah. Good morning. As the patron sponsor, it is my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to each one of you to the 21st Annual BC Natural Resources Forum. Rio Tinto is proud to be a founding sponsor of this forum since 2002 and to continue participating in a conference that serves as a vital platform for First Nations, business, and government leaders to converge, exchange ideas, and collectively address the challenges and opportunities across BC's natural resource sector. I would like to thank the Clay Tene for welcoming us into their traditional territory to participate in the events this week. I want to acknowledge the Haisla Nations, Kitsalis, Kitsum-Kalem, and Gigat Nations traditional territories where BC Works Smelter is located. Finally, I also acknowledge the Cheslata Carrier Nation, Skintai, Nitai Bun, Saikas, Stalatin, and Nottali-Booten Nations in the Nechaka watershed where we operate, and other territories of Indigenous people throughout the province. My name is Carlene Welch, and I am the Procurement Business Partner at Rio Tinto BC Works in Kitimat. The procurement team strives to build trust between our assets and communities with a greater goal of making it easier for local suppliers to compete for contracts and maximize local economic benefits and care for the land that provides our resources. As we continue and improve business with local suppliers, I am excited to share today that Rio Tinto Procurement is rolling out a local and Indigenous guide, which will establish minimum requirements through standardized practices for local, Indigenous, and diverse procurement in North America. Throughout this forum, we will be presented with a unique opportunity to engage in meaningful dialogue, share innovative solutions, and foster collaborations that transcend boundaries. Whether you come from public or private sector, academia, or Indigenous communities, your perspective and contributions are invaluable in shaping a sustainable and resilient future. The BC Natural Resources Forum is not just a meeting of minds, but the demonstration of a shared commitment to the well-being of our province and our planet. As we embark on the next 2 days, let us keep in mind the importance of fostering a balanced approach that harmonizes human progress with environmental stewardship. BC Works is proud to be celebrating its 70th year in operation. It is the recognition and education of our past that has allowed us to work together towards a stronger, sustainable future for the next 70 years and beyond. As a nod to the 70th anniversary of Rio Tinto BC Works, we are allocating $70 to one of 3 nonprofits within our business footprint each time we have a visitor in our booth engaging with our Smart Board. So I invite you to visit our booth to share insights and celebrate with us our 70 years by supporting important projects and programs in local communities. Once again, a heartfelt welcome to the 2024 BC Natural Resources Forum. May our discussions build connections and our shared commitment to sustainable practices lead us towards a future we are all proud to be part of. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carlene, and thank you to all our dignitaries this morning.